Rahobat Yasar, Ranani Kawun Qamam Hatap Rayay. My name is Qamam Hatap Rayay, and I'm a student teacher of the True Nawapians, known to us in this day and time as Pa Nabab YAANANAN, also known as His Excellency, the illustrious Malachi Kobina, York 720. I will be continuing the reading from the Gospel of YAANANAN, the reading Natural Ether Energy, continuing from verse 91. The second energy body contains the matrix of the peripheral nervous system with a center or seat in the adrenal glands, 92. The third contains the matrix of the central nervous system with an energy center or seat in the pancreas, 93. The center or seats of the fourth energy body is the thymus, 94. That of the fifth is the thyroid, 95. The center or seat of the sixth and the seventh are the hypothalamus and the pituitary, 96. So you see, Nawapians, all these energy centers or seats are directly associated with the endocrine system. 97. Each of the 7 glands is a projection of the corresponding energy centers in the physical body. 98. The exceptions here are the 8th and the 9th energy centers or seats that have no projection in the endocrine system, however, are nonetheless in close interaction with it. 99. Each of the matrices or the energy systems ruled by the natural ether energy as it melts down from the brain. 100. They are not stationary and amorphous, but dynamic structures in which processing goes on in the universe. The body of all creators and are constantly sending out sparks and reflections charged of fluid. 101. Also, these structures have within them individual identification of each race of people according to their genomes, genes, DNA, blood, breath, pigmentation, their whole being and body. Each race has their own working, not the same energies, which makes the matrices of one race different from those of another in time and space. 102. If disease or curse such as leprosy has attached to your physical body, it will affect your DNA and genes down to your ka, spirit. You are cut off from the universal living system or rhythm. Your body no longer vibrates with natural nature, but has become unnatural to nature as Pa Kakas U, the Caucasians, a mutant. Defected physically and mentally, he's a disease to all others. 103. And travels the planet Earth spreading his disease with others. First, they replaced their original nationality as a race and renamed themselves after a place such as the original tribes of the part of Earth now called Puerto Rico, rich port. The invading Spaniards, blonde, fur, blue-eyed Europeans invaded and mixed in, and the original people there was Negroids. Now forgot their original tongue, so they speak Spanish from Latin, from Rome in Europe. This has been done world over, North, South America, a place not the original Nagaro Negroids who was here in the Western world as Negroids before the Mangalu Asians sailed over to the West Coast, mixed in with us, divided into tribes, then was invaded by the Celtic Europeans and now called American or Indians. Most now speak Spanish or a dialect, for it is from Europe, and don't remember who they were. They gave up their original culture, religion, deities. This is the disease of the cursed seed of mutants from Europe, spread world over to those who would or will convert or accept their disease system. He starts wars, kills off or spreads viruses as AIDS, HIV, and others with the help of his overlords, Pa Kamau, the Palladians. In fact, infected them with the curse of leprosy, which now they spread world over to effect your natural ether energies and all of natural nature. 104. The speed of your own race meltdown and speed of your synapses, also your neurons, electrically charged particles in your cells, the very telomeres at the end of your helix, to make you sick and age fast on your chromosomes by injecting them, their diets, fluids, the living dead seek to cut you off from your source, your ancestors, by way of his religious teachings taught to him by the extraterrestrials who mixed with them 6,000 years ago and found in their own books of history, the Sumerian tablets, the Dead Sea Scrolls, the book of Adam and Eve, the book of Jubilees, the book of Enoch, the book of Genesis, and other records of Adamites. History. The disease race on this planet from 4000 BC, spreading his disease by religion and politics. Many world over are now affected by him, and their natural ether energies are affected too. 105. It's also about neuroscience, which is Wu-Nuwupu, and how to harness your brain ether called neuroplasticity to re-enhance neural energy and power as a race. 106. Wu-Nuwap is what gives this universe of natural nature true life, true form, true order, by way of universal ether in unity with the rules and cycles of nature based on 24,000 years from your renewal that time is now. 107. Natural ether, universe ether, is the blood, mind, and energy of this one universe, Nawapians. Natural ether is the energy that gives sparks to life, to this universe, person, place, and things herein. 109. As natural ether brain energy magnetically and magically come together and unite to process into ether negrogenesis, that is grown brain cells creating new neural paths, and the ether as mind and reason again is now starting to regrow by way of Wu-Nawap. Growing and developing the new being or new body of your organism that the brain needs to have for survival and support, as I said, your neuroplasticity to enhance neural pathways. 110. After these new brain ether grows, creates, and reborn brain continues to regenerate ether blood by way of its heart and lungs. Brain produces ether, which is the kind of life called mind and reason. 111. Universal ether is the combination of all elements and all kinds of matter that can become energy and become energy to the degree that can exist at any given point in this cycle of time and space. 112. Natural ether is Pa'ah, the soul, the life force of Qamam, universe, and Nagaru, Negro persons and things herein. 113. By the rules and cycles of nature, natural ether performs spontaneously and is indeed infectious. That means natural ether as blackness. The black dot, it works automatically and is able to balance all nature by the removal of chaotic light. Supreme balancement, blackness, is able to do what must be done and can do it with perfection. You as the black race, with your black magic, must learn to be responsible or respawn, able to produce more, become helper, ether-like. The sunshine is the physical life and spark of this world, and head ether, with a given reason to exist. It is the mental and spiritual light and life of this physical world or planet. However, natural ether is all ether in good health and well-being, and must produce natural pure Etherian offsprings for this universal ether, and is likewise by natural process. 115. So, Nawapians, remember, you as natural Etherians and universal energy in this one universe linked to the dual verses or other bubble dimensions where you have your Etherian double and will become one at your physical death in this dimension. 16. As you see two soap bubbles attracted and some become one, so also your etheric bubble does the same at death. Your etheric orb or energy of this dimension melts into the other dimension by way of the wormhole. 117. Meaning you exist everywhere as multiverses, in omniverse, as etheric beings. This is within your potential to activate once you realize your mental powers in true life as a Nawapian and reactivate the repetition in memory of your true mind powers. 118. You are the source of this universe ether, and its powers in your brain melt down to your heart and lungs, located to the center of universal orbs called true stars and suns. And this is why it is mind, blood, and fluid breath of existence. 119. So Nawapians, until we all become one mind, we give power to adverse forces of unnatural sick ether energies to control us and our lives. 120. Once you all put aside his ways, his actions, his thinking as found in his holy books. 121. That is in your genes by way of him mixing. The result is we don't become one in emotion or motion, mind or mental. We use his spirit forces. We feed him by our lack of cooperation with each other as other races do. We hate one another. As it was said, the woman you gave me, she, in our case, it is the people I have to deal with or live with. Never me, always others. This is his adverse nature, not our own. 122. Even in our personal lives, we try to live in his holy books, laws on love, marriage, family, all based on stories made up to rule your lives. 123. We live together. We live much longer than all others and did get along together and must learn to do it again or we will fade with him. Our mental power is in the fact that blackness is one. Only with light do you see separation of things, and that is also persons too. 125. As you see chaos or light, a form of ether as the sun's light or rays of energy arrives or reaches the planet Earth in a form of sunshine, particles of energy of ether. Natural then, the same reflect lights on the moon. Unnatural, direct to adverse, indirect. 126. Natural, ether, universal energy is reason, that I mean as a reason for all things done, doing, and therefore is infectious, that is able to do anything possible that can be done and do it in a most perfect manner, as you are supposed to be as children of Nagaru. 127. Basically and scientifically, there are two major kinds of natural ether: universal ether, namely 9 ether and 6 ether. There are others in between, but these two are the major: 9 blackness, 6 lightness. 128. The main dominion of 9 ether is from above, not born on earth. The main dominion of 6 ether is from below, born on earth. 129. 9 ether charges natural matter for better standards, values, and equalities in natural nature. 130. By the same deduction, but reverse principles, the main dominion of 6 ether is as blow does change matter for the worse as it does the planets, all natural living things and persons. 131. 6 ether and 9 ether as pa kakas wu najar are natural opposites in nature. 132. 6 ether is 9 ether in reverse, as the digits themselves. 6 is physical, sex. 9 is mental, sex. Lust is 6, love is 9. 133. Nawapians. Reiteration is memory drill for the brain is affected by 6 and 9. Scientifically and basically, there are 2 kinds of universal ether, namely 9 ether and 6 ether 2. 135. In this case, 9 ether is also called positive ether, and dominion over positive ether is above, highest. 136. And also in this case, 6 ether is also called negative ether. and the dominion of negative ether is below, lowest, both speaking in their very natures. 137. 9 ether, the positive, control and supports the living being, good. 138. 6 ether, the negative, controls and supports the dead being, ghosts, specters, orbs, evil. A living being is indeed scientifically dead when its life-giving chemicals are not sufficient enough to maintain the positive standards, qualities, and values of nature. The first is respect and getting along with each other, nature, and to protect the being from physical deaths continually, as in the case of scientific life. 140. So 9 ether is the life of the scientifically living, from soul or omniverse to spirit or dual-verse, unto body or universe, you. 141. And 6 ether is the life and death of the scientifically dead, from spirit or dual verses onto body or universe only. 142. Once 6 ether body dies, it turns blue-black, and its spirit becomes a orb of dim semi-seen energy. Most are trapped on this dimensional level because of the attachment to the physical world and their desires to control all others. The result is their evil actions, rendering them lowlifes. 143. 9 ether and etheric beings and their offspring are such because they follow the rules of natural nature and in order in all they do. Eat, live, they cooperate with others in the natural rules of cooperation. They are cooperative in all things. 144. 6 ether and etheric beings, or 6 ether and their offspring, are such because they do not follow the rules of natural nature and order. By making them unnatural and out of order by nature, they refuse to cooperate with others in the natural rules of cooperation, and they are not cooperative in all things. To see what this means, you only have to see their way of life and living, such as they induce false pregnancy just to give birth, so that is unnatural. They must intake lots of caffeine for physical stimulant to start the body each morning. That is unnatural. They must intake lots of alcohol to stimulate them before they can enjoy others or socialize, which most often results in adverse actions of violence and accidents. That is unnatural. They must take in all kinds of medication, drugs, which is unnatural. They must live on the edge, tempt fate by doing all kinds of dangerous things for adrenaline rush, or they can't feel. That is unnatural. They love the sight of violence, fights, wars, contests, challenges, gambling, anything to stimulate them to feel that is unnatural. Lovemaking is not enough for them. They need lust, perversion, bestiality, sexual degradation, prostitution, pedophilia, ism, pornography, all kinds of unnatural sex acts found in his holy books. It makes all kinds of cinemas, plays of sex and violence, nudity of women. Unnatural is to present your own female to the world on display. Unnatural is what he calls new music, which is not music at all. It's heavy metal, hard rock, and others is unnatural sound. Their body alteration, implants, skin coloring, fur dyeing, all adverse to natural nature or how nature made them. Look at how they subject other animals for their own entertainment and slaughter, hunt for pleasure, unnatural activities by their very nature. That is 6 ether beings, a race of diseased in body and mind, living under many names, mixing with others to take over their lives, obsessed with ghosts, monsters, beasts, with killing and death. And all this is found in their holy books, given to them by their overlords and lords Enki and Enlil, and their offspring in their conflict for rule of this planet and all who reside on it. One says, do this, the other say, do that. And you, in their religious life, confused or babbled by these 2 brothers, sons of Anu, who is called the Most High. Each says, worship only me as the one true deity, God, Lord, have no others besides me, because I'm jealous I will once you're dead in flesh, take your spirit into damnation, hellfire, and burn you. 145. All this is the working of unnatural six ether beings at work for your very soul, your essence, your innocence. 146. They seek to transform you into them, soulless beings with spirit but no soul. 147. They seek to cut you off from your roots, your source, your ancestors, and replace them with their own as prophets, angels, saints, messengers, messiahs, saviors, God, Lord, Christ, all from their holy books, called holy books, a 6,000-year history from a man made, a ruddy, blush pink, reddish man who they called Adam, and his sons, daughters who were later cursed with leprosy. They mixed and spread world over by way of their religions, from one called Ibrahim, then Abram, then Abraham, then Ibrahim. 148. They gave them his religion, they gave them his family, the Chaldeans of Persia, his own religion and gods. 149. In their own tongue, the names changed, but the rituals of blood sacrifice, offering obligation to their dead relatives as God, the worship of the sacred fire, their flesh was burnt in as the light of God. 150. All their gods became one God, or Elohim, became El, Baalim, became Baal, and then called Yahweh, Adonai, from El Shaddai to Ash-Shahid, and from Alihat to Allah, on to Ilah Rab. 151. The same beings, or Anunnaki, Anakim, Elohim, Alihat, the old ones, the first ones, they came to them from Pleiades star system. 152. None other than from heaven above as extraterrestrials. 153. Who came down to earth, as you can read in their holy books. 154. Who said, kill for us or we will kill you. 155. Take others' land to raise flock for us or we will kill you. 156. Kill other tribes of people who we did not choose or we will kill you. 157. Obey us who will send one for you to worship of us or will burn you in hell, fire, that is, cook you to be eaten as we do animals. 158. Also recorded in their religious holy books again and again, see how their gods asked them, Hebrew, on to Muslim to kill, as in the test of Cain and Abel, in order to offer flesh and blood, which resulted in the first murder of their holy books, the Bible. 159. All you have to do is read with an open mind, remove the religious blinders of faith, and read the actual facts. 160. The deity of their holy books put enmity, hate between people. Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. He or they made that enmity or wrath in Cain. Genesis chapter 4, verse 5. The same word, hara, anger, furious, vexation. What kind of merciful gods in this? 161. Flesh eater, Book of Enoch, chapter 7, verse 1 through 14. Flesh eaters, Revelation, chapter 19, verses 16 to 18. Taught the Hebrews to eat human flesh. 2 Kings, chapter 6, verses 28 through 29. As they did, Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 29. Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verses 53 and 57. Lamentation, chapter 2, verse 20. Chapter 4 and verse 10, and Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 9. All the offering and sacrifice in their holy books, right down to the Holy Quran of the Arabs who descend from Abraham as Ibrahim, also lived by the same rules, laws, and rules. Holy Quran, chapter 2, verses 130 to 136. 162. Because most are under a hypnotic spell, they have been made to forget the past rites and rituals. You ask, why Allah, Yahweh, asked you to slaughter animals on altars? in Leviticus chapter 1 verses 13, and in the Quran chapter 148 verse 3. They don't remember. That is why in their holy books they are called Enoshites, a word that means forgetful in Hebrew, Chaldean, and in the Quran, in Arabic called the same Anas, which has the same root meaning forgetful. They say it means people or mankind, but it means forgetful, amnesia. This was done to them. It's called blind faith. So in the end, they will themselves be offering to their flesh-eating deities or extraterrestrials. However, they don't remember the reason they do what they do in religion these days. 163. 163. One son, Enlil, asked Abraham to offer up his son Isaac or Ishmael to be eaten. Genesis chapter 22. The other son, Enki, said, don't cut your son up to be eaten. Genesis chapter 22, verses 11 through 13. Both sons of the Most High God I knew as one God, so they use us, we as one, or me, for both of their orders. 164. So Nawapians, those who follow Abraham's religion, Mosesism, Jesusism, Mohammedism. 165. Yet as Revelations pointed out, when they return with the King of Kings, Lords of Lords, they will come to, as verse 18 of Revelation 19 says, that you may eat the flesh of kings, rulers, and the flesh of captain leaders, and the flesh of mighty men, the sons of Elohim, as in Genesis chapter 6, verses 4 through 5. The offspring of Adamites, women with extraterrestrial giants, and the flesh of horses, animals, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, people, both free, kakasu, and bond, nagaru, both small, poor, and great rich. 166. So they have no clue what the adverse forces of sixth ether has planned for them with their unnatural ether energies. 167. How they so freely offer themselves and souls to them for wealth or to be of the rich, who will also be eaten by their fake antichrist, who comes with blood all over his white robes, a flesh eater. Who do you think is the Savior? 1 John chapter 4, verse 2. They don't know what he will look like. 1 John chapter 4, verse 12. But he will transform some into flesh eaters as he is. 1 John chapter 3, verse 2. What is it all based on? John chapter 6, verse 54. Revelations chapter 7, verse 14. Also Revelations chapter 12, verse 11. White blood based on a deal with Abraham. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 29. Mark chapter 14, verse 24. All about blood. Revelations chapter 12, verse 11. So, being as he is, will be to be a lamb of slaughter, lambs or sheep's flock, as calves. Malachi chapter 4, verse 2. Calves of the stall, the ruddy race. John chapter 4, verses 34 through 35. My meat, where is their antichrist? From John chapter 8, 23. What did he call those pretending to be Hebrews? John chapter 8, verse 37 through 44. Revelation chapter 2, verse 9, and chapter 3, verse 9. They walk by faith, not by sight, so they can't remember what is in store for them by not seeking the actual facts, just being handed a mistranslation of their history books. 168. Nawapians, your salvation is in sound, right reasoning. The proper scientific name of sound right reasoning is indeed Nubo, and read with nines, also seen as Nupu, the creation. Energy reason is intellect, intelligence, revelation, inspiration, and best mind growth, as you see in our ancient symbols. Is known only by the one who enters, as called a vase scene threefold, in the name for primal waters, triple darkness, Nun, a secret sky, deep. Deity of personification from the deity of personification from the energy threefold of water, from the sky above, all from above into the deep. And besides the bowl of Nu, you see the symbol of nappy hair on the crown, often seen facing the other way. And besides that, you will find Pu. The symbol of letter P is a stool of reed, a seat, a throne, and you find it in the word inserted. The three symbols are the stool, the bread of birth, and the helix of life. The name means opener, the one who opens, the way also found in the symbol for the word. And besides, you see again nine ether, Pu. Put together, you read and see Nupu, Nuwapu. In addition, reason is the real creator and true guide in nature, and it is physical in the forms of its real bodies. Pa Rayay, the sun, the true stars of this one universe. 169. In other words, a physical creation presupposes necessities and requires a visible creator. Pata, from Nun, and the creator reason shows itself in the form and person of the visible physical sun of this universe, or eternal, all-powerful nature. Amin Nabab Pata, Amun Nabab Rayay Aha, in the personage of Pa Nabab Yanun, the secrets behind the tone, Nupu. So, Nawapian, you overstanding as sound right reason, the creation, energy reason, as in out-telligence, from outside of this one universe, down from above to you, reason being, the real creator and true guide in natural nature and into physical in the form of its real bodies, hydrogen, helium, the sun of true stars of this universe. 171. In nature, universe science, like the scientific information from the scientific information from outside this one universe and dimension. 172. Used as the word supernatural, this does not mean something or someone with superpowers above and beyond the natural or nature, because there is no such person or thing as a superman or woman, only beings from other older star systems who know much more about the working of nature's elements and may appear to the unknowing to be superhuman, nor does this mean they're good by nature and not evil. 173. Since nature, be it natural ether energy positive in nature or unnatural ether energy negative in nature, the supernature working of nature is Nun. Nu, space, time, matter. The personifying of or from primal deep, of which emerged the creator, source of being, life. 174, and means higher or highest power, and magic of the natural or of nature, not something or someone above and beyond the natural rules of nature. 175. So most who don't understand, but with an understanding, use good as powerful and special as super being, or the German word Gut, to God, or Hebrew El of Elohim, and Arabic Eloh, to Allah of Alahat. And most of them have no idea that these extraterrestrials was both males and females in their mistranslation of the grammar of their holy books for so long. 176. All these are titles, not actual names. They describe the powers of what is called by them divine, from Latin divus, from Latin diva, female deity, goddess, while divine, meaning hallowed, able to foretell or procrastinate, give a prognosis on nature. 177. The words God and or Yahweh or El or Allah, as stated, are merely a title and not a name. However, if a person insists on using the titles for beings, they have not seen or confirmed their attributes, but only by blind faith or belief. The by blind faith or belief, the etymological, that is original and true meaning of these words for God is ghost. 178. Because the word God is short for ghosthood. Both females and male spirit forces in their religions, they say supernatural, powerful beings who has and or sent beings called angels, Milcom, Molech, Melech, Malak, who takes on human forms, making them the same nature ether energy or unnatural ether energies. 179. Therefore, when they say or use God, Allah, Yahweh, El, Baal, Satan, Jinn, Shaitan, Dios, Vehos, Lord, Angel, they must identify what exactly do they refer to, show and prove its existence in some form or likeness, or it is only an illusion, fantasy, hallucination, mirage, or as stated, ghost, spirit, specter, apparition, which like gas or steam can take many forms. Steam, liquid, ice. 180. Or as you see, light waves of colors by way of electricity can take forms on a screen or film, TV, and even into three-dimensional form or 3D. So that which is one place sending out signals throughout the air can be received at a receiving point and take on light form by seeing and physical form by touched. 181. The Wapians, remembering the same other star people who come to this planet are much older and more advanced by millions of years. If you see what this Adamite, only 6,000 years old, have advanced to over the past 400 years, think of what the extraterrestrial visitors can do. 182. They are what the holy books call God, and in them, in the original language, goddess, which are left out in mistranslation. I will list them for you, males and females of the Anunnaki. All of these are found in the original stone tablets, which became their holy books, and as they lost the original language of the stone tablets, cuneiform of Babylon in the Mesopotamian lands, and on to Akkadian, to Chaldean, then into many dialects as the holy books. Genesis chapter 11, they became Syriac, Aramic, Phoenician, Hebrew, Arabic, and on and on. The names changed, just as you see the Chaldean man named Ibrahim, name changed to Abram, then to Abraham, then to Ibrahim, then to Ibrahim, and his father's name also changed from Tirhu to Tarak, then to Terah, on to Terak, and in Arabic holy book changed to Azar. 183. So also An became Anu, and then Alyun, then Ilyun, then El Ilyun, the Most High. Then in Arabic it became Allahu El Aliyu. What is hidden from most is the fact that these beings are in fact mentioned in their holy books as both men and women, as well as having children, as you see above and can read in the holy books of Genesis chapter 6. The sons of the children of the Elohim gods and goddesses to have children who need both male and female with DNA the same to breed, as these goddesses and gods called Anunnaki, then Elohim, then Alihat, had children who came down to earth and had sexual intercourse with Adamite women and gave birth to children who came down to earth and had sexual intercourse with Adamite women and gave birth to children. By them, they had to have the same amount of chromosomes to be able to breed. 184. So their deities were both male and females who came to earth, called angelic beings, as you read in their holy books, Genesis chapter 18, verses 1 through 8. Some called jinn had sex, as you read in the Quran of Muslims, Quran chapter 55, verse 56. These two groups of angelic beings were called seraphim, angel, cherubim, jinn. Both had physical offspring on this planet, 185, and was of both male and females, 186. It's all about the language, Nawapians, how they hide to seek the facts that both males and females were Elohim, Alihat gods, 187. First, they want you to think there is only one deity in their holy books, speaking and appearing to them in the Hebrew version of the Old Testament. Use the word powerful one, strong one, God, judges, Elohim, Elohim. But they will put God in Genesis, and that God means gods and includes goddesses. 188. When you search, as we Nawapians do, you can find where they made mistakes and left Elohim as a plurality, which means gods. Play on grammar. Gods in English, big letter, small letter, which does not exist in Hebrew or Arabic. 189. Now you will find a few of the mistakes left behind. 1 Samuel chapter 4, verse 8. You see, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. Gods, Elohim, coming out of the ground or earth, mighty gods. 1 Samuel chapter 28, 13, verse 13. You see, also the word living one, Yahweh, also can be found as plural, both males and females, 191. So Yahweh can be used in the singular or plural. Answer as masculine or feminine in the Hebrew version. Some of the Yahwehs of Jehovah mentioned include Yahweh and the Elohim of Israel, Adonai, Master, Lord, Odane. Also can be singular, Adon, or plural, Adane, 192. The Hebrew and Arabic are in fact the same tongue, and both, particularly in their literary form, is very careful and intricately constructed. It is the translator who seek to hide what they know from the rest of the world about these gods, goddesses, lords, or kings of kings, Yahweh of the Elohim, cherub of the cherubim. After all, their scribes wrote by hand upon very expensive substances, very difficult to prepare, so they saw the true meaning of each word. Tawakum.